Imagine looking at a room filled with 10 of the most important women in your life: your wife, your sisters, your daughters, and your closest friends. Now imagine being told that within the next few decades, 6 of them will be facing a quiet, yet serious, threat to their health. It is a sobering thought, but a massive new shift in public health data shows this is exactly where we are heading. For decades, many of us believed that this particular health challenge was largely an issue for men, but a groundbreaking new report has shattered that myth completely. The truth is out, and it reveals that women are facing a massive, hidden wave of health risks that can no longer be ignored. Especially as we cross the threshold of 50, understanding this shift is not just about looking at statistics. It is about preserving our independence, our strength, and our ability to enjoy our golden years to the very fullest. Hello, I am Robert Evans, a senior health researcher. A senior. I have spent years analyzing clinical trials and academic papers to find the truth about how our bodies change as we age. Today, we are looking at an urgent wake-up call that demands our immediate attention. The American Heart Association recently released a major predictive report that has sent shockwaves through the scientific community. According to this comprehensive analysis, 60% of women in the United States are projected to develop cardiovascular disease by the year 2050. That is nearly 2 out of every 3 women. This is a staggering increase from previous decades, and it means the landscape of senior health is changing rapidly right before our eyes. When we look deeper into the data, the timeline becomes even more critical for those of us over the age of 50. The researchers found that the risk does not climb gradually over a lifetime. Instead, it accelerates sharply during and after the menopausal transition. For years, natural biological processes provide a shield, helping to keep blood vessels flexible and strong. But as the years pass and our biology shifts, that natural protection begins to recede. This new discovery highlights a critical window of time, a period where the choices we make can actively reshape our biological trajectory. Many people ask me why this is suddenly becoming such a massive issue now. The answer lies in a combination of shifting lifestyles, modern dietary patterns, and a general lack of awareness about how uniquely this challenge presents itself in women. For generations, the classic signs of a strained cardiovascular system were defined based on data gathered mostly from men. Because of this, many seniors are completely unaware of the subtle, quiet signals their bodies are sending them every single day. This is not about causing unnecessary fear. It is about empowerment through accurate scientific knowledge. When we understand the magnitude of what the American Heart Association is warning us about, we can stop playing defense and start taking active control of our longevity. This new report is a call to action for anyone invested in senior vitality and longevity. It reminds us that our bodies require a different strategy as we move through our 50s, 60s, and 70s. The good news is that biology is remarkably resilient. The human body is constantly adapting, and science shows that we can influence our health outcomes far more than we might think. By examining the peer-reviewed evidence, we can uncover exactly how these changes happen inside our blood vessels, and more importantly, what the world's leading research institutions say we can do to protect ourselves. Understanding this problem is only the first step. To truly protect the people we love, we must understand the exact biological mechanisms that cause this shift in the first place. To truly understand why the risk increases so dramatically as we cross the threshold of 50, we have to look past the surface and examine what is happening inside the body at a cellular level. Inside every blood vessel is a delicate, thin lining called the endothelium. When we are younger, this lining is incredibly flexible. It expands and contracts effortlessly to manage blood flow and keep our system balanced. However, as women transition through menopause, the body experiences a sharp decline in estrogen. This hormone is not just important for reproductive health, it acts as a powerful protector of the endothelium. According to extensive research from Harvard Medical School, the loss of this hormonal protection leads to a noticeable drop in nitric oxide production inside the blood vessels. Nitric oxide is the exact compound that signals our vessels to relax. Without enough of it, the arteries begin to stiffen, a process often referred to as arterial aging. When the walls of our blood vessels lose their elasticity, the heart has to work much harder to pump blood throughout the body. Over time, this extra strain can cause tiny, microscopic tears in the stiffened vessel walls. This is where the problem accelerates. When these tiny tears form, the body naturally tries to heal them, but this creates a surface where circulating fats and minerals can easily get trapped. Scientists at the Mayo Clinic have documented that this process leads to a gradual buildup of plaque, a condition known as atherosclerosis. In seniors, this buildup can happen quietly over many years without causing a single obvious symptom. For men, plaque often builds up in large, localized clumps, which makes it easier to detect on traditional medical tests. But for women, research indicates that plaque tends to spread out evenly across the entire length of the smaller blood vessels, a unique pattern that often flies completely under the radar. This subtle difference in senior biology is why the modern statistics are rising so rapidly. Because the changes happen smoothly and evenly throughout the smaller pathways of the body, many women do not experience the sudden dramatic signals that we typically associate with cardiovascular strain. Instead, the signs can feel incredibly ordinary. Things like an unexpected wave of fatigue after an easy walk, a slight tightness in the chest that comes and goes, or even a sudden shortness of breath during routine daily tasks. Furthermore, data published in the renowned medical journal, The Lancet, emphasizes that metabolic changes after 50 further compound this biological vulnerability. As our metabolism naturally slows down, the way our liver processes fats shifts. This often results in a rise in bad cholesterol and an increase in systemic inflammation. When you combine stiffening blood vessels, evenly distributed plaque, and rising inflammation, it becomes clear why the American Heart Association issued such a stark warning for the year 2050. This complex biological shift shows us exactly why traditional, outdated approaches to health are no longer enough for our demographic. The aging process alters the playing field, and relying on luck or old habits simply will not suffice. However, understanding the science of how our arteries stiffen and how plaque accumulates gives us an incredible advantage. It allows us to move away from guesswork and look directly at what the data says about reversing these trends. Every cellular change we just discussed represents an opportunity for intervention. Science shows us that while we cannot stop the calendar from turning, we can absolutely influence the rate at which our blood vessels age and how our bodies handle inflammation. The key is knowing which research-backed strategies actually strengthen the endothelium and keep our cardiovascular system resilient for the long haul. Now that we know exactly how these hidden changes happen inside the body, the next step is to look at the powerful, proven habits that can help protect our biological vitality. Turning this wealth of scientific data into everyday vitality comes down to making deliberate, research-backed choices that support our blood vessels every single day. Since we know that arterial stiffening and reduced nitric oxide are the primary drivers of this rising health risk, our main goal must be to support the flexibility of our circulatory system. Fortunately, clinical evidence shows that our bodies remain remarkably responsive to positive lifestyle changes throughout our 50s, 60s, and beyond. Data from the National Institute on Aging highlights that one of the most effective ways to encourage blood vessel elasticity is through consistent, moderate-intensity movement. When we engage in activities like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming, the physical movement of blood creates a gentle friction against the vessel walls. This specific friction acts as a biological signal, prompting the endothelium to release more nitric oxide, the very compound that helps our arteries relax and expand. The consensus among researchers points toward accumulating at least 150 minutes of this moderate movement every single week, which can easily be broken down into manageable sessions of 30 minutes 5 days a week. In addition to physical activity, what we put on our plates plays a massive role in managing systemic inflammation and protecting the cardiovascular matrix. A comprehensive study published in the journal Circulation confirms that dietary patterns rich in whole, unprocessed foods can actively counter the metabolic shifts that occur after 50, focusing on a wide variety of colorful vegetables, fiber-rich legumes, and healthy fats, such as those found in extra virgin olive oil and wild-caught fish, provides the body with powerful antioxidants. These nutrients work to neutralize free radicals, preventing the oxidation of fats in the bloodstream and reducing the likelihood of plaque buildup in those delicate, smaller blood vessels. Furthermore, research from Harvard Medical School emphasizes the critical importance of restorative sleep and stress management for senior vitality. Chronic, unmanaged stress releases sustained levels of cortisol and adrenaline into our system, which actively causes blood vessels to constrict and raises resting blood pressure. Prioritizing 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night allows the nervous system to transition into a state of rest and repair, giving the heart and blood vessels a crucial period to recover from the demands of the day. By combining consistent, enjoyable movement with nutrient-dense foods and proper rest, we can build a powerful shield that supports our long-term independence and physical strength. This information is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. It is always wise to consult with a qualified healthcare professional before making any major changes to your wellness routine. Taking care of our biological health is an ongoing journey, one that allows us to continue showing up fully for the people and activities we love the most. If you found this research-backed breakdown helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into senior health and longevity. Together, we can navigate the latest scientific discoveries and turn data into real, lasting vitality. See you in the next video.